the next sloka, which is the essence of all Gita Shastra as an anushtanam. See, the essence of Gita Shastra shown by Mahatmas is Sarvadharman Parityaja is the highest state. Of course, it is the final word of Gita. But who can be in that state? Only a few sannyasis, only a few Mahatmas. For normal people to do something, to do a sadhana, we need something to hold on to. Na? Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Sarvadharman Parityaja is the state of complete surrender. And that needs to happen. Purna Sharanagati. For us as a bhakti sadhana, our Bhagavan, out of his kripa, is also showing a anushteyam, that which can actually be practiced as bhakti for beginners like us. Bhagavan is giving this golden shloka, which is the last shloka of the 11th chapter. Mat karma kriti, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha, Sangha varjitaka nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu yahasamameti pandava. So now he is explaining Ananya Bhakti, and he is explaining the actual practical aspects of Ananya Bhakti. What Bhagavan is saying here is very beautifully, he is asking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things here. Who is the one who attains Bhagavan? Since it's Bhagavan's words, attains me means attains Bhagavan. First thing Bhagavan says is, one who attains me first is one who works for me. Mat karma krit. One who does not work for his own welfare, thinking that I will do it for myself and I will do it for my people who are relying on me. I shall do it for the world. All that is grand, no doubt. We are talking about the highest truth. Remember, don't be in an or mentality. It's an and mentality. It's a progression mentality. So generally, when we say this, normally people who are not introduced to much spirituality, I ask them, is it wrong to work for the world? Are all that you have done? Na? Now we are talking about highest level of bhakti. So we have to raise our perspective to that level to understand what we are talking here. So the highest level, mat karma krit. Remember our Swamiji's golden words, which we actually inscribed in our GOD pamphlets when we started. It's still there. Swamiji says, when you work only for yourself, you are miserable. He didn't say that, but this is the prologue. If you work for the world, you are happy. Working for Krishna makes you blissful. Working for the world makes you happy. Working for Krishna makes you blissful. And bhakti is the path of bliss. It is an amritamaya path. You see, so here, mat karma krit means doing all actions with Krishna in center. Mat karma krit, to start with, can be even if I am working in the office, even if I am working in an hospital, even if I am working in a school, wherever I work, I am doing it for Krishna. Because finally, it is a Krishna who runs this universe. And this small school is also a part of Krishna's Rajyam. And that is why we have to see the entire universe as Bhagavan Sri Krishna's creation, and Bhagavan is also Niyamaka. Bhagavan is running this universe. So the small part of the universe where I stay in, where I work for, is also work for Krishna. This is Mat Karma Krit to start with as Karma Yoga. And the same Mat Karma Krit, if you do Karma Yoga 100%, Karmanyevadikaraste, that Bhagavan has given me a duty, and I shall do this duty in the spirit of service, not Manav Seva, Krishna Seva. And all Manava is Krishna only. Now, who is all these people around? Bhagavan says, I have two prakritis. I have para prakriti and apara prakriti. And the para prakriti is all the jivas. Na? So it is all Bhagavan's children in normal terms. So when I am serving people, if I see them as people, then there is always a hidden expectation of some return from people. If I see that if I see people as Krishna and my workplace as Krishna's workplace, then I do it out of gratitude, and I have a very little chance of expecting something in return, because Krishna Arpana. And that raises our perspective to real bhakti. If people don't have this mat karma krit bhav, then very difficult to go higher and higher in bhakti. So I'm doing it all for Krishna. Starting, whatever work I am doing, it is Krishna's work I am doing. I shall do it with all my energy. And since I'm constantly having the thought that it is Krishna's work, the Naam keeps coming in my lips all the time. Krishna is for you. You don't have to keep repeating Krishna is for you, Krishna is for you. It's a bhav. But we can repeat Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Because I'm doing it for Krishna. Na? So when I have the prajna, when I have the consciousness in the Western way, when I have that thought in my mind, I'm doing it for Krishna, I shall never forget Krishna's name while I'm doing every work out there. This is what Narada Maharshi is telling Vyasa Bhagavan, but let's not go into details there. This is what is exactly telling in Bhagavatam. When people do karma yoga, when people actually do it as Ishwararpitam na ichaya kritam, automatically they will be chanting Vasudeva, Shankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, which is because it's in Dwapara Yuga. But in Kali Yuga, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. If you are truly doing work for me, says Bhagavan, obviously Vyasa Bhagavan and Narada Bhagavan says, when we do work for Krishna, automatically Krishna Nama will come in our lips. Adha mat karma krit. Starting, whatever duty I have been giving, whatever seva I need to do, if you look at it in two ways, it is a duty, which means apart from executing and discharging it, I have no other expectation. Whatever fruits Bhagavan gives as Krishna Prasada is accepted. This is absolute minimum for us to progress in bhakti. Once we do that, Bhagavan becomes very happy. Then he opens the door of his direct service, like cleaning the temple, making a mala, or doing archana to Bhagavan. Everything is karma only. Na? When we are taking a flower in our hand, our karma indriya called hand is holding the flower. And when we are throwing the flower, looking at Bhagavan, our eyes are looking at Bhagavan. All this is karma. But what is the bhakti or ananya bhakti in it? The bhav that I am doing it because of Krishna Kripa. It is Krishna Kripa which is making me do it. And it is for Krishna Preeti I am doing it. So mat karma krit means doing everything for Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And then he says, mat paramo. Mat paramo. First, mat karma krit means working like for a master. So like a servant works for the master, you do everything for me. You do my work. Mat karma krit. Right? But then the goal or uddesha should also be me. When somebody is working for a master, the goal or the final uddesham need not be master. It can be himself also. I'm working for somebody in my office. Doesn't mean I'm doing my boss work in office. But doesn't mean boss is my final goal. Or attaining my boss is not my final goal. Na? So he is adding, when you are doing mat karma krita, when you are doing things which is my things, which is karma yoga, or even if you clean the temple or make a mala, etc., do it for me. Do it in the bhava that I am doing it for Krishna Preeti, so that Krishna out of his kripa will accept me. So mat paramo means parama uddeshyam should be Krishna. My final goal is Krishna. I can clean the temple for punya also. If I forget Krishna's name, if I forget that I am doing Krishna's work, and if I forget that I am doing it for Krishna, then what happens is it becomes punyam. Punyam means again karma, again births, etc. So when we are progressing in bhakti, mat karma krit means doing mat aradhanam, doing Bhagavat aradhanam, or doing work for Bhagavan Sri Krishna, or doing Bhagavan Sri Krishna's work which is aradhanam. Both, huh? But remember, when we do all this, Bhagavan is saying mat paramo, that Krishna is the purpose, Krishna is the goal. For Krishna I am doing, for realizing Krishna I am doing, and for Krishna Preeti I am doing, not for Punya Papa, etc. And that's why mat paramo means Krishna is supreme for me. And it is not narrow-mindedness. In Indian culture, a wife being devoted to the husband is called pativratyam. I hope we still have this tremendous honor and regard for pativratyam. Na? If that is not narrow-mindedness, if that is the supreme dharma, then having Krishna is my supreme, Krishna is my supreme goal, Krishna is my supreme purpose, is also not narrow-minded. Aldam Bhakti. You see, and that's why he's saying Mat Paramo. Generally, we used to sing a song, our Swamiji used to make us sing. Yattanai Devam Yedir Vandalum Yavarkum Ye Manam Dan Yedam Tarumo. Even if many deities come before me, for me, my heart is for Krishna. None of the Nayanmars ever wrote a verse on Narayana. None of the Alvars extolled Narayana. All of them attained their goal. Na? Meera, our Meera Mai says, Marato Giridhara Gopala Dusurona Koi. Meaning, for bhakti to be complete, it has to be one-pointed, Ananyam. And that Ananyam means this, Mat Paramo. That the purpose is Krishna. And he is the final purpose for all my endeavors. And just like how, even if a woman becomes the wife of a very poor person, if she is a pativrata, would she look at any other rich person? And if that itself is true, we are all given our life to the highest, the richest person, the most beautiful of all person, the Lord of the universe, the most opulent of all person, most compassionate of all person. How can any Krishna Bhakta ever look at any other deity? That is what is called Mat Paramo. Mat Bhaktaha means with gratitude and being ekanti. You see, Mat Bhakta's meaning, Narada Maharshi says, if we can't live without chanting, Vismartum Naima Saknumaha Bhakta. The amount of pain we get when we forget him even for a second is called Mat Bhaktaha. So, can't live without Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam or Atmani. Atmani Vedanam is the goal. Not able to live without doing all this sadhana is Mat Bhakta. And for us to be like that, most important thing, Sangha Varjita. Get rid of the company of all those people who keep saying that having Ananya Bhakti is narrow-mindedness. You see, don't think Dussangam means only Nastika Sangam. People who can become an obstruction for our Krishna Bhakti is also Dussangam only. And the actual Sangha Varjitaha means attachment. But here, we can also interpret it as getting rid of the Sangha which corrupts our one-pointed devotion. Like a Pativrata would never seek the Sangha of anybody else except Pativratas, isn't it? Likewise, Sangha Varjitaha, attached and attached only to Bhagavan Sri Krishna and not to anything else. And doesn't mean that you start speaking low of other things, you see. And Bhagavan does not like that. We can have attachment to Bhagavata Dharma, but we should never speak low of other Dharma. And that's what Bhagavan says in Bhagavatam. Through the Prabuddha Yogeshwara's exposition, Shraddham Bhagavata Shastreshu Anindam Anya Shastreshu. That we can have Shraddha in our Bhagavata, but then no comparison. Not trying to feel proud that I am in this great path and others are not. Bhagavan has a plan for everybody. Our Nammalvar very beautifully tells in Tamil, Avaravar Vidivadi. Bhagavan has charted a path for everybody. This is my path. I am blessed to be in the other path. Like our Kabir Das ji says, Bhala Bura Sabka Sun Lije, Par Gujran Garibi Mein Man Laga Mera Yaar Fakiri Mein. जो सुख पावो राम भजन में सो सुख नाहि अमीर भला बुरा सबका सुन लीजिए. A bhakta will never get into an argument. Bhakta does not want to debate. Bhakta does not want to put down anybody. The bhakta cannot condemn anybody. Bhakta cannot also try to establish, I am right, you are wrong. Because he sees his Krishna's touch everywhere. Krishna has that plan for you, Radhe Radhe. Krishna has this plan for me, Radhe Radhe. That's what a bhakta is. Nirvairaha. You see, he has no animosity, resentment, or even resistance towards somebody else. If somebody asks, he will say. Don't we remember Haridas Thakura's life? Our Haridas Thakura was with our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a gem in the wonderful harem of our Mahaprabhu's devotees. Many of the people who were not in Hindu, Sanatana Dharma, tormented him because of orders from their superiors. And when he was being tormented constantly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, even the tormentors could not brook it. So they said, Baba, what to do? We are doing this. Forgive us. I can see that you are a Mahatma. Mahatmas knows no religion. They know no differences. Right? So they said, forgive us. And Haridas Thakur said, my dear fellows, why are you feeling sad? It is not you wanted to torment this. It is Krishna who has decided. And you are following only your boss's orders. And so don't worry about it. Then all these people asked, can you please tell us your mantra which you are chanting? Haridas, they asked, how do I attain Bhagavan? Haridas Thakur said, in your faith, there is a path. Follow that path, you will attain Bhagavan. Bhagavan is one. You attain in your path. But then all the other people said, but we want to travel in your path. You see, Haridas Thakur said, oh, in that case, come sit down. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Chant. He didn't say, you are wrong, I am right. He said, you are right in your path, go. But when they wanted this path, only then he opened his mouth and gave them the path. Such is the greatness of Nirvaira. So, for this type of a bhakta, for him joy, sorrow, everything is Krishna Kripa. Even sorrows like Kunti Mata used to say it, Vipada Santuna Saswati Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yasyata Punarbhava Darshanam. Nirvaira. He will see everything as Krishna's work. She had no word of condemnation for Dhritarashtra. She had no word of condemnation of Duryodhana. Have you ever seen Kunti Devi condemning Dhritarashtra to Duryodhana? In fact, she said, I lost a well-wisher. I lost a well-wisher in the battle. Who was that well-wisher? Duryodhana. He planned so much externally adverse events for me, which turned out to be internally a prosperous event for me, a positive event for me. Each time there were external obstacles, I can see my internal obstacles to bhakti being removed because of my one-pointed prayers and devotion and clasping your feet, Krishna. Nirvaira. So they understand everything is Krishna's family. Everything is a family member. Whom should I actually hate? If at all I feel a pain, I understand it is all because of my one Bhagavan, my one Lord who is creating all this. The example given as yesterday is when I bite my own tongue, whom should I condemn now? So the tongue and the teeth both are the part of one body, isn't it? Likewise, they see all the living beings, all the Mahabhutas, everything as part of one whole, which is Hare Shariram, Kamvayu Magnim Salilam Mahimsha, and Jyotishim, everything, all the five elements, the Surya, the Chandra, all the living beings, everything, Ashtamurte is Hare Shariram. So, if the right hand manages to pinch the left hand, who will condemn who? When I see oneness, Ekatvam Anupashyata, when I see that oneness of Krishna's family, I cannot hate anybody. So, Nirvairaha, Sarva Bhuteshu, Nirvaira, Sarva Bhuteshu. Here, great commentators like Adi Shankara, Bhagavad Paatah, Ramanujamji, and others have said that Nirvairaha Sarva Bhuteshu really means that even people who create problems for us, even people who create troubles are not hated. Even people who consider a sadhu to be their enemy is not seen as an enemy by the sadhu. You see, everything is Krishna Sankalpa. So here, Ananya Bhakti meant no other phala, no other sadhana, and no other vishayam. But here, Ananya Bhakti has been shown as no other sadhana, holding on to Bhagavan. So Ananya Bhakti means Ananya Bhaktya to Ananyana, doing Krishna's work for Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and doing Bhagavan's work for attaining Bhagavan Sri Krishna with love, because a servant can serve the master, but he need not love the master. But here, when I do karma, I am doing karma, I see karma as Krishna's karma, I do karma for attaining Krishna, I do karma out of love I have for Bhagavan, and hence, do you see, Practically speaking, for normal people like us, gratitude is how everything is connected. If I don't have gratitude, can I do karma for Krishna? If I feel I still lack something, I need to attain something, I need to achieve something, how can we do karma for Krishna? It will be still for me only, na? So when we slowly develop gratitude, mat karma krit becomes easy. Karma yoga becomes easy. Once karma yoga becomes easy, Bhagavan opens the door of direct seva, where you can come to Namadwar, you can chant, that is also seva. You can clean, that is also seva. You can do darshana, that is also seva. Or you sit down and do smarana, that is also seva. Mat karma krit means tan manaskaha, tad alapaha, tad vicheshtaha, tad atmikaha, tad gunanyevaga. Idudha ananya bhakti, which means using all the three karanas, which is manam, vak, kayam. Using our mana, using our speech and our body for Krishna's service. So mat karma krit, mat paramo, and mat bhakta. Mat karma krit means using all our instruments, all our sense organs towards Bhagavan. Mat paramo is buddhi nischayam. Mat bhakta is manas, doing constant chintanam with love towards Bhagavan. So buddhi, manam, and our body. Tan manaskaha, tad alapaha, tad vicheshtitaha, tad atmikaha. And this is what is the grandest sloka in Bhagavad Gita, in the context of anushtanam, in the context of practically applying and practically doing and practically thinking, because the highest sloka is for all great adhikaris, isn't it? But this sloka can be for everybody, says a Bhashyakara. Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padah says, this is Sarva Gitartha Sangha Sara Sangraham for Anushtanam. And that is what is the 11th chapter. And now our Arjuna works for me, accepts Bhagavan as the supreme goal, and then is devoted, and he is completely devoid of any attachment, and finally has no enmity to anybody whatsoever, even those, or even to people who may actually insult or injure that person. Remember the grand message of our Swamiji, which was specially sent to Australia: love for everybody and hatred towards none is possible when we understand that it is that Bhagavan Sri Krishna who is manifested everywhere. It is Bhagavan Sri Krishna who is hiding behind, inside everything, where we can love everybody. And hatred for none happens when we grow in Krishna Bhakti. That oneness can only bring that wonderful love for everybody and hatred towards none. And for us, Satsangis, love for all and hatred for none would mean progressing in Krishna Bhakti, seeing everything as Krishna and not hating anything and loving Krishna because Krishna is all. You see?
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.